Welcome back, folks. This is JE Live, and I'm coming to you live Thursday night. Let's do it. Since I missed you guys last night, I was at the Yankees game. Watched the Yankees win against the Cincinnati Reds. Thrilling fashion, extra innings. It was a wild pitch. Uh, didn't think I'd see that going to a game, but that was pretty cool. Seems like every time I go to a game, it's always a walk-off win for the Yankees, typically. But hope everyone's doing well on this Thursday. Thinking we'll go for about an hour. We'll see how it goes, but still trying to put out the content. Not feeling like the best. Still, still fighting illness or whatever you want to call it. But happy to have you guys in here, talk with you guys, and yeah, we'll talk about whatever. Can you believe 56 days? 56 days until NFL. That's exciting to me. Very exciting. Very exciting stuff. What's not so exciting is some of these opinions that I have to see, like Cooper Cup not being a Cooper Cup not being the best wide receiver, Matthew Stafford not being a top 10 quarterback. I don't know. It makes my job easier, I guess, to create content because I can react to how stupid those are. But let's see here. What's up, Julio? Okay, the Miss Marvel finale. I'm going to talk about that in great detail, spoiling it and everything. So come by on Monday at 9:30. We'll do MCU Edge. But I loved it. I think it was one of my favorite finales of any of the Disney Plus shows. It was awesome. I think it really made the show that much better and had a massive reveal. And I'm not going to spoil it on here, but I can't wait to talk about it on MCU Edge on Monday. Ram Station, what's up? I didn't even realize they're doing Hard Knocks. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I might check it out. Maybe do reaction videos to it. I don't know. It's kind of long. I think they're setting themselves up. The younger audience in LA. Before you know it, the Raiders fans they won't be extinct, but LA. Thank you, Benny. Appreciate that. What's up, Ricky? How we doing? After Stafford, we will do it all again for our lifetime. We'll see what happens after Stafford. A lot can go down. It's a interesting thing right there. They're all biased against the Rams. It does seem that way. It's kind of weird. Like even Jalen Ramsey. I mean, clearly he's the best corner in the league. I don't think there's any argument until I see a dude on ESPN who says he's seventh because, well, he's not the same corner. I don't know what that means. What do you mean he's not the same corner? He's not old, you know? He's in his prime. He's playing multiple positions. I don't know what you want from the guy, personally. It's odd. Do you think the Rams will go after an edge rusher before or after they play the Bills? I think after, so they can see what they are. I mean, if they do go after one, it won't be until I almost said the All-Star break. I'm so in baseball mode right now. It's funny. No, the trade deadline. They won't go for one until the trade deadline, in my opinion. So, I know. Well, it's true. I think, it's a copycat league, and you see a lot of teams trying to copy what the Rams are doing because it's working. It makes sense. Copy what works, right? We'll just get a new vet quarterback when Stafford retires. Only 1/3 first round quarterbacks make a Pro Bowl. What's up, Brian? Found a new way of success. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, what is a lifetime? Do you think our turf is contributing to all the ACL and Achilles injuries? I'm against turf entirely. I think it should be ripped out of every stadium. I think all it does is hurt the product on the field. I mean, when you think about it, it's an entertainment business, and you're trying to provide a service of entertainment to the fans, the donors of the league, the people that obviously make the league run, and obviously the viewers on TV and whatnot, when you're putting the source of the entertainment in harm's way, when it's already a violent sport enough, and now they have to worry about false steps and things like that tearing their ACL, yeah, I got a bone to pick with that for sure. So I think it has something to do with it. It's not just the Rams. There's a lot of turf issues I think going on, and I think it should be natural grass. I know it's hard to keep up with, but hey, you make a lot of money in the NFL. They can afford it. Just make it happen. So am I. That was if you saw my reaction video, I came very close to like throwing a temper tantrum at the 49ers for doing that. That was so lame. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's getting there. It's getting close. Uh well, I don't think Rap is coming back. I think there's a chance they can get Scott back. Um but that's what I would say in regards to that. I think Nick Scott, we'll see with Nick Scott, but I think Nick Scott could be back. Rap, I don't see. I don't see Rap coming back. I just don't. We'll see, but I don't see that. Oh, yeah, no, I got you. Well, I think a lot of people hate on the team that just won the Super Bowl. It makes sense. Their team didn't. This team did. You know, generates a little bit of a jealous nature, if you will. Is it 56 or 55 days? Did I get that wrong? I'm only human, folks. Let's see. 56. Okay. There we go. Oh man. Nothing on OBJ. I did. I very much did. Yeah, that was something. They get to be kind of annoying. After a while, it's like, shut up. Like, your team hasn't won since I've been born. Leave me alone. No, but I think they'll pay Fuller. That's my big prediction. I think Fuller's going to be the guy they pay. I don't think they'll sweep him, but I the chances of it I think are higher than last year. Going into last year. I would probably go. It's probably even on that end, but I'll probably go with Bobby Brown the third. I think they're really going to slow play it with Jacob Harris. Yeah, I think they're going to develop him on special teams. Whereas I feel like Bobby Brown the third, they're gonna try to get ready for next year because he might have a serious role next year. Not this year, but next year. Oof, it's fantastic. I absolutely love the season finale. It was great, and I'm excited for the Marvels. I can't believe I'm saying that. I really wasn't before, but now I am. So yeah, and if you know, you know. Like it's who would have thought Miss Marvel would have had the biggest reveal of any of the Disney Plus shows? Arguably the most important besides Loki. Who would have thought? Well, yeah, I always have said, with owners, like you want owners that are going to understand, know their role, pump in the money and just stay back. Like hire the guys that do that work. If you have a possessive owner, it's not going to work out the way you think always. Yeah, I mean that was a massive hit. It sure does kind of registers in your head like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I don't. It's tough with him because he's not gonna start. He's gonna be in more of a rotational role. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, it could go either way. The hope is, I mean, yeah, things work out for Chris Garrett, but he didn't really get a rookie season last year. Didn't really get a lot of shots, a lot of a shot. That much of a shot. So really good preseason, but that's something that like I definitely think about. I'm like, I would really like to see him go off, but I think he's playing like the Okoronkwo role, where like he'll have his moments. I don't think he's gonna be able to do anything like over the top though. Yeah. What has Nia DaCosta done? I don't mean that in a an offensive way. I'm just very much intrigued. Nia DaCosta. Oh, she directed Candyman, and she's doing the Marvels. Ooh. And she did the whole post-credit scene of Miss Marvel. Wow. Okay. That's funny. Yeah, I really liked what she did with Candyman. I really liked that movie. I know not everybody did, but wouldn't say it was a blessing in disguise. It was nice to have Weddle back, and he played well, but I definitely, I will say this: Jordan Fuller getting hurt, the way he got hurt, the Yankees just tied it up. Let's go. Torres 2-run shot, 4-4 New York. Well, 4-4, they tied it up. Judge hit a home run after I was saying that he's starting to struggle. That's awesome. You have? Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I was at Yankee Stadium yesterday. For those of you who didn't know, so that's why I didn't go live. Saw Yankees Reds and had some good seats, extra innings, so we got some free baseball. It did result for us getting in back home by like 4 a.m. So there was a price to pay for the free baseball. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got the skill set. He could do something with them, but I just think they have so much there. I don't think that they'll bother. Debo, I think it's after this season. Yeah, I think it's after the season for Debo Samuel. That's crazy. I mean, Nia did an outstanding job with Candyman, so I'm sure if it has any of that tone, it could be a really good. I think she's gonna be way better than Chloe Zhao. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I don't like Drake, and he has that curse. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it did kind of scare me when he started betting on OBJ. I was like, oh crap. He did get OBJ hurt. I'm convinced. OBJ tore his ACL because he bet on OBJ to go over X amount of yards or whatever. I like it. Penn Badgley is awesome. I know he was in Gossip Girl. I didn't really watch that. I have not gotten around to it. Maybe I'll catch it someday. It's been spoiled to me multiple times in other TV shows, so I don't even know if there's a point to it. But uh, no, Penn Badgley as Joe Goldberg slash Will Bittelheim in You he's just like so good. So seeing him in like a protagonist role, I mean, I guess he's his own protagonist and antagonist in his own way in You. But I am a big fan of his acting chops, so I definitely think he'd be a cool fit there. I think Hardy will get in like a little bit, I could see that. Let's see. Between DeLong, Rochelle, Hill, and Durant, who you got play opposite corner and slot this season? So I have Hill 100% play on the outside opposite Ramsey. I think that's what they plan to do, and I think Jacoby Durant is going to steal that nickel spot. That's what I think. No, I don't. I like the sport of boxing, but it's ruined in today's society because we just have fake. Basically, it's just like, fake boxing. Everything's predetermined. It's all to make money. It's grifting. That's what boxing is nowadays, right? I mean, it's not just that. But for the most part, it's just grift. For the most part, it's grifting. I mean, do you think any of those boxing matches, Jake Paul, even the one with Mike Tyson, do you think any of them? You think any of them like weren't? I mean, all you need to know is that most boxing matches that get the most recognition and the most viewership, they're exhibition. Like it's already predetermined that there's not going to be like a winner. I don't know. I'm not a fan of like where it's gone. As far as UFC, to answer your question though, I don't follow it, unfortunately. Like I know the one time I watched it, it was like Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. So that was years ago. That was before Lesnar went back to the WWE. So yeah. Marvel study always learn from their mistakes and always improve movies they make. It's true. It's true. I mean, he'll get more than last year, but I don't expect him to get a ton more playing time. What's up, Doctor MF? Appreciate you, by the way. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I'm with you. I think a lot of people, and I've talked about this multiple times, I think a lot of people are really quick to just kind of retire Justin Hollins and like kind of put him in this pre-existing pod where he's just a backup, maybe a little bit better than a backup, but like what's a stopgap, if you will. And he might be in terms of contract. They might have zero plans for him moving forward. Like it's just this year. But in his role this year, he is good enough to start on a Super Bowl team. He is a very good player. He's got a lot of potential. And if they really want to develop him, he can end up being a stud. So I'm all for giving Justin Hollins a shot. And then you get to the trade deadline, you're like, all right, this isn't really working out. You want to go in a different direction? Fine. But I don't get why you wouldn't give Justin Hollins a shot. And I think that's what the Rams are doing. So it's, that's why I even mentioned that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. See, that's what it's supposed to do, Rusty. It gets you hyped. Behind the Grind is all about getting you hyped for the season. I mean, if you think about that, that's all it's supposed to do. But they add other stuff as well. So, you know. Like, I personally, going through all of them, Fuller, to me, was by far the best one. By far. It wasn't as long as Stafford. It was a little bit longer than Cup. Cup's was entirely to get you pumped. Didn't really give you anything. Stafford kind of gave you the idea, okay, I see Tremaine Ankrum there at right guard. That's cool. That's some intel. Showed you behind the scenes. That's cool. Fuller, like, gave you the whole feeling, like everything he went through during his rehab, and the fact that like he had to watch the Super Bowl. Well, he had to watch the NFC title game from home, the Super Bowl from the sidelines, the emotion, the feeling. I thought that was like it was pretty cool. I don't know how relatable it was. I've never been in that position, but it was really cool. It shows you kind of the human element of that we forget about that. No worries. No worries. I have really bad grammar myself. I'll be tweeting and then I say something like really dumb. Like it was actually a good tweet, but like I absolutely typo the hell out of it. And then I get mad. So, I get it. Trust me. I do get it. Let's see here. No, I don't know anything about the Tour de France, unfortunately. I know, Armstrong, Lance Armstrong it was. And then I know the guy after him. I forget his name. Was it Ledecky or something? Maybe that's a different sport. I don't know. But I know about Lance Armstrong. I don't know much else. I mean, that's probably the best I could give you about Tour de France. I'm really out of it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be able to really give you much out of that. But yeah. Do you like the Tour de France, or is that something you're really into? Like I've never really sat down and watched it. I just know about Lance Armstrong. I like Krasinski too. It just sounds like he's gonna get replaced. Like I prefer Krasinski. What I don't like is if he doesn't take the gig, if he's literally not going to be Mr. Fantastic because he can't be Mr. Fantastic without his wife being Sue Storm. Like Emily Blunt wouldn't be the good Sue Storm. I'm telling you right now. Oh, I got you. No, I'm looking over. I got multiple, screens and everything, and I'm looking at all these guys, like all these screens, and I'm following the Yankee game on one. I'm following, you guys. I'm not watching the game. I turned it off because that's disrespectful. I'm not gonna watch something while I'm doing a live stream unless it's a watch party. But I'm like looking at the, keeping track on the tabs on the ow, the Gamecast. There we go. Sadly, yes, it did. If you only watch when it's Brock Lesnar, then there's your answer as to why big names in boxing exhibitions like Jake Paul make the most money. Unfortunate way of the world. Yep, exactly. Oh, man, I hope we get, and we're probably not going to. It doesn't really make any sense how we would even hear it, but I want to hear something about Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man, you could say what you will about Thor. Thor got to 4 movies, and I'm a fan of all 4 of them in their own way. Okay, I think the latest one's really good. I thought Ragnarok was the best. I thought the second one is underrated, and the first one was a good opening. But Thor and Iron Man, Iron Man had probably the best character. Like Robert Downey Jr. was fantastic. Iron Man 1 was like probably one of the best ways to really kick off a series. But I'm going to say this right now. Iron Man 2 had the worst antagonist in the entire MCU in Whiplash. I have nothing against the actor that played him, Mickey Rourke, who I actually thought was pretty decent. But I just didn't like Whiplash. It's such a minor character to not have the actual Mandarin and just have Whiplash was kind of a weird direction. And then the third one, I mean, I just didn't really like. It was kind of weird. Like the third one was better than the second, but Iron Man, like that series, kind of flopped in a way. Like it had such a great character, but Iron Man really shows off in the collab films. His own series wasn't that great. That's why they didn't get a fourth movie probably. Thor was good, so it got 4 movies. It's probably going to get a fifth one. But Spider-Man, like Captain America, better trilogy, in my opinion, than, and I know there's going to be a fourth one with Sam Wilson, but the first three movies are better than Iron Man, and they're better than Thor, in my opinion. Um, the first Captain America was pretty darn good. The second one, the Winter Soldier, is fantastic. It's one of the best films made in the MCU. And the third one, Civil War, is really good as well. And it's pretty much, that's also another thing. Like, it wasn't a true event. Like, it wasn't a true, like, Captain America movie. It was almost like an Avengers movie. I mean, Civil War is essentially an Avengers movie. It's not really a Captain America movie, so that's almost not really fair to say. But then you look and you're like, okay, Black Widow, she only had one movie. Didn't even get multiple. Hulk didn't get any after they tried early on. So then you look at Spider-Man. You're like, Homecoming, that was a good kickoff. I think Homecoming gets worse over time instead of getting better. I feel like it gets worse. Like, when it first came out, you're like, oh, Spider-Man's back. He's got his own movie. Like, they finally rebooted it with a younger Spider-Man. But I don't love it. I like it a lot. I don't love it. Far From Home. Like, to go from Homecoming to Far From Home is the biggest leap of any of those movies, maybe. Like, in any of those series. I mean, you could argue that it's almost a bigger leap for Ragnarok from the Dark World. But I might actually say Homecoming to Far From Home is just, like, amazing. And then Far From Home to No Way Home is even better. But I just feel like that's why, like, the Spider-Man movies, they get me so hyped. So at Comic-Con, I want to hear something about 4. I think the reason Spider-Man movies do so well, there's not a ton of, like, anything really in them, right? It's just about the character. Yeah, there's some MCU, but there's not, like, anything shoved down your throat, if you know what I mean. Like, there's none of that. And I feel like they don't try to stuff cameos galore. They just try to, make it to the story. And I feel like that's why Spider-Man, to me, is by far my favorite. Homecoming, exactly. Homecoming was really to launch it. So to answer your question, Dingus, Spider-Man 4, I want to hear something about. I want to hear something about the X-Men, for obvious reasons. And then, I mean, I'd imagine we're going to get a trailer for Black Panther. I'd want to hear a little bit more about, stuff like, I mean, Secret Invasion. When the hell are we getting that, Loki Season 2, I'd like to see a preview for that. And then maybe we get, like, a little teaser of Phase 6. I don't know if it's that far in advance, but Phase 5, Phase 6, I don't know. Like, I think Phase 5 we get by D23. But who knows? Yeah. Yeah. He will retire a Ram. How many rings will he have? That's interesting. I could probably see, like, he's got one now. I think he wins at least 2 more. I think that's fair. I mean, I don't really care that much, but I do like it because when that stuff happens, I can make reaction videos about them. Therefore, I can make content. Therefore, I can entertain you. Think about it. A lot of the reason why we've had such a huge, I guess, revolution in regards to sports media on YouTube is because, not all, but most on the actual TV are not putting in the work that we're doing. And you want to see better. Here we are. What's up, Alex? I agree. Especially with that deal. They're now, like, international, with, like, what, Australia, I think it is. Man, it is hot in here. Anyone else have, like, their house feel like 99 degrees? Just me? Oh, I have never really watched The Simpsons. Um, the only time I really watched The Simpsons was the short before the Simpsons ride I went on. So I don't even know what I would say. That's tough. I have no idea. I guess they predict like things way ahead of time, but I have never watched it. Like a full episode. No, and I gotta say, I don't think that should be considered a character concern. Not saying that that's what you're saying it is, Dingus, but with Zach Wilson, like, you know, you just kind of have to laugh at it. I've always said this, and this has nothing to do with my thoughts on Zach Wilson, because in my blunt, honest opinion, I don't care. Like, you do you. Outside of football, you do you as long as you're not hurting anybody physically, as long as you're not breaking any laws, you do you. But like when it comes to it, like I can't tell you how many times I've had friends be like, "Man, I used to like LeBron until he got super political," or "Man, I like so and so, but I don't like their views." And what I would say is, it's gotten to the point where everything now, in everything that is done in entertainment, music, art, any of that, at some point, somebody is going to take their big platform and start using it to spread a movement, do things that they believe in, right? It's a little bit off the realm of what you're talking about with Zach Wilson, completely different thing. But this is how I look at it, okay? If people are bothered by Zach Wilson, they can separate what he did off the field and on the field. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel. Is like when it comes to now, like for instance, the other day, what was his name? I always forget his name. De Niro. Robert De Niro. Like he said something about the president, right? And he was talking about how great he's doing, and I don't care who you like, I don't care what your views are. This is not me hating on the president, but this is me saying I don't believe that our country is in great shape. Open-ended. I think I love my country, but I don't feel like our country is in the best shape. I don't. I think we're about to go into a recession. I think there's way too much inflation. Gas costs $100 for a sedan. Like, we've gotten to that point. So, I don't feel like we're in great shape. And I was just thinking about the other day, and I'm like, De Niro sounds so out of touch with reality. And then I thought about it, and there's these people hating on him, like, I'll never watch Goodfellas again. I'll never watch this again. I'll never watch Taxi Driver again. And I'm sitting there like, you know what? Hear me out when I say this. All right? I don't agree with anything De Niro said, saying how, like, oh, this we're better off than we've ever been, or we're doing so well, or whatever. But just because he's ignorant to the outside world, because most of Hollywood lives in a bubble that they don't actually see the blue collar workers doing what they do, living the lives they live, being involved in the things that they're involved in. I'm not going to hate on Robert De Niro as the actor. If I don't agree with him as a person, fine. But you got to, this going back to the whole Zach Wilson thing, you got to remove the viewpoints from somebody from what they do for you. So, for instance, if you don't like LeBron James's politics or anything like that, you remove that, and then you just focus on the player. And if you believe that you really like the player, you like what the player does for you, he entertains you, he's your favorite, just be a fan of that player. But it's the same thing with Wilson. Like, if you feel as though what he did off the field was kind of, with Dax Malign and all that, like it's a little questionable, like fine, but like Zach Wilson, the player, if you like Zach Wilson, like just focus on him as a player. It's not like you have to go to dinner with these people. I think far too often, the way these icons work in Hollywood and anything, we've gotten to the point where, it's like, oh, well, I'm boycotting all her movies because she spoke out against one of the views that I like. And I'm just kind of like, well, if that's the case, I mean, you can still like her movies. Just try to separate her views from it. She does a job, she acts, she goes home, and she's a normal person. I mean, for the most part, like I said, most of Hollywood is not living the same life we're living, folks. That's just the way it is. They are not living the same life we're living. That's why that one, I don't know if you guys have seen The Boys, when they were making fun of the Imagine video. All those celebrities that were singing Imagine. Do you guys remember that during COVID? And people like slammed them for being like just attention seeking and all that. It's why it came off so bad. It's like, and then like the people that were complaining in their giant mansions during COVID while, a bunch of, everyday middle class workers were begging their bosses that so they could work from home because they didn't feel safe, or, they're trying to afford health care or whatever, for a relative or, older person. And they're sitting there like singing Imagine, and, they're like the Hollywood actors are sitting there like, and not all of them, but, some of them are making these TikToks and these GIFs and all these like memes and stuff about how, it feels like we're in prison and it's like you live in the hills. Like, you don't have anywhere near as many worries as other people. But yeah, just kind of a long rant. But, I felt like you kind of opened up the door to something, Dingus, when you mentioned that. So I figured I would kind of expand on that. No, I don't think Zach Wilson in conclusion, I don't think Zach Wilson is considered to be off the field issues. If anything, I think a lot of the teammates just kind of like laughed at it. You look at like Garrett Wilson's reply. You look at, Elijah Moore's reply, Becton's reply. Those guys have his back. They really feel like they're like, that's my quarterback. Like, they're making jokes. That's all you have to do. As long as he didn't abuse anybody, no one's really going to care, But that's a good question, though. What risks has Marvel made in Phase 4 that maybe didn't pay off and they might regret? I don't think they really regret. I don't think they'll regret anything. I really don't. Problem is, I can't really critique Phase 4 because I've liked it so much. I think they've really just knocked it out of the park. They've turned a character like Falcon and Winter Soldier into characters where now the original maker of Falcon Winter Soldier, who sold the rights to them or whatever for like $40,000 or something like that, right? Back in the day, have now gotten to the point where the original makers are trying to sue Marvel now for the rights to the character again or something like that. I saw that. I'm like, that's how you know. They've created value in these characters that were around for years, and all of a sudden now they have all these characters. So, that's what I'll say. But let's see. Do you think that Stan, I don't know if it's the good owner. I do think Stan Kroenke's a good owner. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I know there's a lot of St. Louis fans that would disagree with me. You have to think of it in terms of business. You have to think of it in terms of, does he elevate the Rams' value? Because at the end of the day, all an owner's trying to do is elevate their value. And the Rams are now 8th in the entire world in sports franchises, as far as, estimated value. So he's doing a good job of that. He's staying out of the way of football operations. He's just funding the project. That's what you're supposed to do. Everyone focuses on the miss, Jaquiski Tart interception or whatever, but, like, I don't even care about that. Because at the end of the day, if he were to pick that off, they still have plenty of time to win that game. It was not the end of the game. 49ers fans act like they would have won the game if he caught that. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. I mean, put Anthony Starr in any. I mean, he is so good. He just commands the attention of the entire room that he's in. It's crazy. He's such a good actor. Homelander is just a multi-layered character he's done such a great job with. What's up, Youngham? How we doing? I did. That was something else. Did make me laugh. Oh, A-Rob? Oh, yeah. No, I think so, too. What's up, Amber? How's it going? Rams-Panthers game October 16th. On my birthday, we take dubs on Baker. Oh, wow. October 16th? Your birthday's October 16th? Mine's the 11th. Wow, we're pretty close there. So, oh, Michael. Michael, I need to ask you, before I answer this question, are you asking me what I think about their team as a whole? Like, are they good? Or what are you asking me about in regards to the Mets? Because I have to know. Because if you're asking me if I like them, the answer is absolutely no. I find they're annoying, and their fans have this little brother syndrome. It's really annoying. Actually, their social media has little brother syndrome with the Yankees. I never had an issue with the Mets until like pretty recently, and then I realized on social media they're really annoying. But I'm definitely curious on what you mean by that. They're obviously a really good baseball team. I mean, I don't think that it's going to be either them and the Dodgers in the AL. Oh, sorry, them and the Dodgers or the Braves in the NL. 55 and 34. You know, let's see here. I'm the same way with Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's like a show. People are like, how do you not like Always Sunny? And I'm like, because it's annoying and boring and, it just annoys me. Like, why would I watch something that doesn't give me joy? Why would I watch something that makes me annoyed? Dear God. What's up, Isaac? He could. I wouldn't be surprised. He could have 200 tackles. I don't know if he will, but he could get it. This was the 90s. Zach Wilson would be on the cover of Rolling Stone, Playgirl for being a stud, but nowadays people want to cancel him for something that doesn't hurt anyone but the ones involved. And also, can I also say this? We don't know who's at fault. Why do we just always take the side of the girlfriend? Do you remember that whole Jamar Chase thing that came up? That girl was trying to get Jamar Chase canceled? Where did that go? What happened with that? Didn't they find out that she was like lying? I mean, God. It's so annoying. And it's not like I'm pro always believe the athlete, because I'm not. Like, look at Deshaun Watson. I think the dude is a total dirtbag if what happened, which I do think happened, by the way. But it's kind of annoying. It's like, oh, well, he cheated on his girlfriend and now maligns with her, or whatever, and they're not friends. It's like, what if his girlfriend was the problem? Like, we're not behind closed doors. We don't know what happens. What if his girlfriend was controlling? I mean, you don't know. Same thing with the other side of the coin. What if the boyfriend's controlling? And then the girl leaves, and now all of a sudden, oh, the girl's a bad person. You don't know. That's why, like, the whole relationship thing, I don't know. The whole relationship thing is kind of annoying. Like, I don't even know how people can cover that, because I sit there and I'm like, that shit just is, like, way over my head. I'm like, how can you sit there and bash somebody for what they did in a relationship or didn't do in a relationship when the relationship wasn't publicized and you only know the end result? You don't know what they were going through. I mean, we found out everything about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. We found out that she's a turd, but, Like, I mean, for the most part, we don't know, because most of that stuff doesn't go to court. I don't know. I always found that interesting how like we get so involved in other people's relationships. It's like I don't know. What's your take on Bobby Wagner in LA now? I love it. I think he's going to have a very, very good season. Last year he fell off a little bit, sure, but I think people are starting to sleep on him, which is kind of weird. I don't think most people were. I mean, I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but, I think the thing here with JE Live is that I'll answer anyone's question. I'll answer anyone's question, and I'll bring up stuff that's not always Rams related, not always Jets related, not always football related, not always MCU related, not always, I mean, for the most part, I don't talk about politics on here. I don't talk about that stuff. But when it comes up, I'm like, hey. And if I use it as an example, hey, Again, not trying to offend anybody, but I think some things need to be said. Kind of just take the person, take what they do, the art that they do, and the person they are, and separate them. It's good. You can still enjoy things and not be bothered by it. My bad with the Zach Wilson question. Just was wondering since you cover the Jets. No. It's not your bad at all. I just, felt like I had a lot to say there. I think that's something that we see in every day. It's like any athlete, any actor, any singer. Like for instance, good example here. What's his face? Billy Joe Armstrong. He said he's leaving the United States. Doesn't want to be a citizen here anymore. Now, I can disagree with him, but I'm a fan of his, and I'm a fan of Green Day. I'm not gonna stop listening to Green Day just because he doesn't want to be here anymore. Like, all right, cool. He doesn't like the way the country's going, wants to move to Canada or whatever. That's his prerogative. But I'm totally taking the artist and removing it from the person. I'm enjoying the music while letting that person believe what they believe in, because it does not affect me. How many championships do you think Matthew Stafford will have as a Ram before it's all said and done? I think we answered that a little earlier, if I'm not mistaken. I think I said he'll get at least 2 more. But that's probably a good bet. I think at the very least 2 more. So he ends up with 3. See? This is what Marvel's doing. This is why I'm not going to watch Miss Marvel. I'm not going to watch Moon Knight. I don't know who they are. Well, did you know who Guardians of the Galaxy was before they blew up? Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. Most people didn't. Now they're massive. This is why I think they're doing such a great job, because following, the big event of, the Infinity Saga, it's hard. And so for them to put this together, it's smart stuff. I love it. After watching Miss Marvel, I really think they didn't promote it very well, because it was probably one of the best Disney Plus shows they have made, and it has multiple ties into future movies. Yeah, they really didn't promote it well. Like I said, over and over again on MCU Edge, I was like, why is it that when I go on YouTube and I'm watching any other video besides mine, because I do rewatch my videos and critique my own stuff. Don't judge me. But when I watch like MCU driven videos, I get MCU related stuff, right? And one thing I gotta say is when you look at the MCU and you look at the fact like Falcon Winter Soldier came out last year, you don't need to be advertising the project that came out last year. You should be advertising the one that came out this month. And that's the thing. So I agree with you. I think they focus way too much on promoting other shows for no reason. Your feed is acting crazy? What's happening? What's up, Rams fan? What's the Panthers' plan at QB with having Darnold, trading for Baker, drafting Corral? What is the direction they're going in when it comes to the quarterback situation? Great question. I think really when it comes down to it, Matt Rule goes out. He gets Corral in the draft. That's their guy long term. He is not ready for the NFL, in my opinion. I think he's got crazy ceiling. I think he's a very talented player. But he ran a one-read RPO-driven offense at Ole Miss. So it's not the NFL, and it was actually really hard for me to evaluate the talent. Not the raw talent, like the arm talent and all that. Like the dude has zip, and he's got athleticism. But what was hard for me is to see, is he going through his progressions? No, because there aren't progressions because he has one read. It's a very simple offense to run. So that's the thing. He's not ready. By getting Baker Mayfield and having Sam Darnold, those two can battle it out. Baker Mayfield was going to be a backup if he stayed in Cleveland. So that's the argument, is that you get him. Now he could potentially compete for the starting job. Sam Darnold also has a fire lit under his ass to go out and actually earn his job this year. And if one of them ends up being your starting quarterback, quarterbacks are currency in this league, folks. So if one of them ends up being your starting quarterback, I got news for you. Now, you have Matt Corral, who you can develop, and he either turns into your starter, or if you like Baker or Darnold long term, you could send Corral away. Maybe you get a first rounder. Can you imagine that? You turn him into a first round pick because you develop him. Quarterbacks are currency in the NFL. So that is why I think what they're doing is the right way. And I'm not ruling out Sam Darnold, although it feels like I am. But I think they genuinely just want, like, having Baker have something to work for. Not giving him the starting gig is going to have him working hard. But then on top of that, bringing him in general is going to put Sam Darnold on the hot seat. One of them has to step up, so you'd have to imagine someone does. And I'm curious to see who wins that job. I think it'll be Baker, but what if this is what Sam Darnold he needed? What if this was the push he needed? If you remember the beginning of last year, he looked pretty damn good. We were talking about it. I mentioned it on a couple live streams. I was like, I don't know, man. It's Sam Darnold. He's making the Jets look kind of dumb. But then he fell back, to where he was. So injuries did derail that. We'll see what he does. But I like what they did, actually, going out and getting Baker. I thought Seattle should have gotten Baker, but Panthers did it well. The only thing that the Panthers have that really concerns me, that will derail their entire season, is their offensive coordinator is Ben McAdoo. I don't like that. I don't like it. Super Bowl predictions. The Rams beat the Bills in Super Bowl 57 to be the first team to repeat since the Patriots. In 2004, I want to say. How are the St. Louis Cardinals doing? Not a big follower of baseball, but that's who I root for. Well, they are, let's see, are they playing tonight? They lost to the Dodgers 4-0 today. So they are 48-44. And I think they won the other day against the Dodgers, but they have now lost the first place slot in the Central. Milwaukee owns that at 49-40. It's either them or Milwaukee that will win that division. The division is absolute dog water. You have Pittsburgh, who's 38-52. Chicago's 34-54, and Cincinnati, who's 33-55. Although they're trying to win their 34th game against the Yankees. They just sent for the second straight game. I was at the one last night that went into extra innings, and now once again, Yankees-Reds goes into extra innings tonight. So free baseball again in the Bronx. Interleague play. We'll see what happens. I'm monitoring it right now. Top 10th. Yankees have who on the mound? Lucas Leetke is in against Tommy Pham. Blatantly obvious. I think part of it is because, sorry, I'm going to say it, folks. It's because he's white. Because the position doesn't have a ton of white representation. Anytime there's a white receiver, they get compared to Wes Welker or Amendola or Edelman. Steve Largent is one of the best receivers of all time, and no one talks about him. Like, I mean, it's what it is, you know? I've seen people mention it. That's why. Nola and I have talked about this. It's not a surprise. No one just wants to talk about it because it's uncomfortable. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's why. 100%. Your opinion on the Mets as a team? Can't stand Wardy the YouTuber. I don't know who Wardy the YouTuber is, but the Mets as a team are a great baseball team. They're easily, a top 5 team. I think when you look at the top 5, it's the Yankees, it's the Dodgers, it's the Braves, it's the Mets, and then the Astros. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I listed off 5 instead of like 6 or 4. When I'm going off on a tangent there, I forget. So, let's see. Steve, what comment did I see? I just saw your comment just now, this one. Let's see. Awesome. So the Yankees just allowed Votto to double, so it's 5-4 Reds. Amber Turd. If you're not calling Amber Heard Amber Turd by now, I don't know what you're doing. Dude, I'm with you. Oi. Oi, mate. I'm not going to say the other things he's known for because it'll get me banned on YouTube. But, not really. I could totally say it, but I would have to turn it into a 18 and up video, I think. Anyway, my point, yes, I tweeted about this. Carl Urban as Scourge. I'm not even hating on the character. He did a great job, but it was such a waste of his character. Like, he should have been like a big time character. It's so annoying, man. He's awesome. He could be a good Cable, I think, honestly. Thanks for responding to my messages, Jake. I've been a subscriber for a while, but this is my first live chat attempt with you and the fellow fans of the best team on earth. Mitch, thank you for putting your comment in there and asking a question. I'm glad. I'm happy to respond. And I appreciate you for your long time subscribing to the channel. People like you are the reason I've been able to grow. So I remember when Manti Te'o was coming out and he had that whole fake girlfriend thing that hurt him in the draft. That was so weird. How do you feel when you work hard but you don't get rewarded? Does it hurt you mentally and physically? I mean, here's my thing. I've had, let me be just full transparent Jake right now. I've had moments where I put in a lot of work into like certain videos. And it's funny, I was just talking about this to my friend Jake, who you've seen on here, Jake Evans. And I was just talking about this, and the thing that's funny is it's all part of the process. And I understand it's a very, it becomes almost like a cliche thing to say. Ooh, it's it's just the process. Trust the process. But it really is. Because there are times where you as a young YouTube creator, and I'm not talking about age, I mean like you when you first start, and maybe you have some success with some videos, and you get like 1,000 views here, 1,000 views here. Like, it was a gut punch for me when I started trying to do MCU content when it was getting like 100, And I was putting in the same amount of work for the MCU stuff, even more to learn the MCU background, like the Marvel comic background, and wasn't getting the views. And honestly, it's the same thing with the Jet stuff. That's going to come over time, but it's part of the process. So to answer your question, how do you feel when you work hard but you don't get rewarded? Does it hurt you mentally and physically? I think it's a human element. I'm of course going to be somewhat hurt in a sense. I put X amount of time, and for instance, this is a great example. when I put 10 hours into creating this video or 20 hours creating a video and I get no views, and then on top of that, not saying this has ever happened, but the idea of it, this has happened actually. Like hardly any views that I'm expecting, and then on top of that, I get a copyright claim. So I'm not making money off it. I just wasted 20 hours of my life on something that I was really happy about, other people didn't resonate with. And on top of that, that was 20 hours I could have spent making content that wasn't taking a risk, but actually making content that I know people would have liked, the majority of people on my channel. So I look at it as like a double whammy in a sense, like not only did I fail, but I failed even more to my audience because I didn't come out with something that my audience would have liked. And it doesn't happen a lot, but that's a really good question though. I think we as humans, I think we have to feel somewhat mentally and physically hurt, when something doesn't go our way. But that doesn't mean throwing a temper tantrum. That doesn't mean crying about it. But I think in your mind, like, maybe not even hurt's the word, but just annoyed. Like, it bothers you in some form, because if it didn't bother you, then how invested are you in it? That's kind of how I look at it. Like, if for me, I take criticism in, and, I change what I'm doing based on somebody. Like, I've had that before. Someone has critiqued my videos and said, you should add this. Then I add this, and they still are critiquing or whatever. And it's kind of like, man, I put that in, but it only should bother you if you're that invested in it. It's not the same thing as the idea of when you're on Twitter and people are coming at you and like shitting all over you and they tell you to have thick skin in this industry, right? It's not the same thing. When you care so much about something and you notice like if it starts to fail, like it hurts, it annoys you because you care. That's the thing. So if you find yourself like, oh, am I being a little too insensitive? Like, is it unfair for me to be upset? No. You posted a video that you spent 10 hours on making, like talking about scripting the video. If you do that, putting bullet points together. If you do that, putting the graphics together, editing, all of that. You put 10 hours into that. You watched it over. You leveled all of the audio. You made sure everything sounded good. You made sure everything looked good. You got all the socials out there. Like, you got the perfect thumbnail. You got the perfect title. Your tags are on point. Your description's on point. And you're getting 10 views. Yeah. You have every right to be annoyed by that because you put in that work. You should care. If that doesn't bother you, you don't care enough. Period. If you're not bothered by getting, not a lot of views, you don't care enough. Like during the off season, I'm putting out just as good of content as I was during the regular season, but not getting anywhere near as many views. Is that because my audience stopped caring about me? No. What it is because it's sports. It's a seasonal thing. So you have your diehards like you guys who have been here and watching JE Lives and watching the Rams content, even when there's no football. But not everybody is as interested. And not everyone uses YouTube that way. So during the regular season, my views will go way up because it's the season. Everybody's interested. When football season starts, everyone starts watching football. It's why one of the biggest days on my YouTube channel, one of my biggest days, was the day before the Super Bowl, because it was all these people trying to learn about this team. It was all these people that had never seen the Rams play, and they're in the Super Bowl, and they're trying to, decide maybe whether or not to bet on them, decide if they want to root against the Bengals. Like, hey, all my friends are telling me to root against the Bengals. I came across this Jake Ellenbogen channel that covers the Rams. Let me check him out. And now they're like, oh, well, I like Matthew Stafford. I didn't know they had him. And, like, it's just like somebody that wasn't paying attention and, like, they're a casual fan. Like, I had so many views the day before the Super Bowl, I didn't put out one video. Not one. I put out one 2 days before. I did not put one out the night before. I don't know why I didn't. But all of my videos, the views went through the roof. Because when football is in season, when sports are in season, that is when sports channels like this, they really thrive. And while JE Live has become more of an open-ended Q&A talk show where we talk about everything, the majority of this, make no mistake about it, don't get it twisted, with the Spider-Man mask in the background, Michael Myers mask, it's the Rams and it's the Jets on this channel. And furthermore, it's football. This channel, most of the people that follow me, subscribe to me, know that I'm the football guy. I'm into football. So as much as I try to make this more open, I always have to keep that in mind. I feel like I have a really good video idea, but it's not sports related. I'm considering not doing it. Do you know why? Because I don't want to sit there, waste 20 hours of my time making something cool and have it get no views. And it's not even about that. Have it generate no income and waste the time that I could have been spending making content that I know my audience, my preferred niche, would have liked. And that's the thing. In a nutshell, that's what it comes down to. So I know I took that way further than I expected to. Well, probably way further than you expected to. But it's a great question. How do you feel when you work hard but you don't get rewarded? Does it hurt you mentally / physically? It should hurt anybody. If you care about something, it doesn't go the way you want it to go, you should 100% be pissed. You should be pissed. You should be angry. You should be upset. You should be disappointed. You should be annoyed. You should be sad. Go ahead. What are you doing wrong? If you're putting out the same content over and over again and getting the same results, that is the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Notice I've changed my approach a little bit. Off season, I can't just post the way I normally post. Can't just do live streams. I got to do a mixture. Live streams, micro content, regular content. That's why I've put out, I've taken live streams, I've turned them into small content, and then the micro content, what we call micro content, is anything on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. That's really what it comes down to, is if you want to be a really good content creator in today's, generation, and you want to really grow, you have to take advantage of where you're at. It's never been easier than now to start a YouTube channel, to start anything for that matter, and gain a following. I'm not saying that it's been easy to do what I've done, because it's taken a lot of work. It's caused a lot. I've become very antisocial at times, as funny as social as I am on here. I have turned down so many opportunities to hang out with friends, do different things, but I don't regret it, because it's allowed me to put in the work to now be a freelancer. I don't work for a company. It's not to say I'd never work for a company again, but I'm a freelancer, and I like it this way. I make my own hours. I do what I want. I get to talk to you guys whenever I want. So it is a grind. Absolutely, Nolan. It is 100% a grind. It is a real job. If you get to the level where you're getting monetized enough where you can say you make a paycheck, it's a grind. It is not for the faint of heart, but if you're willing to put in the work, you can really do it. That's why I eventually at some point I want to start coaching people about it. It's not just learning the algorithm, it's learning your niche. So, I've talked about that a lot. It's hot in here. It's getting me more agitated. So I just figured I'd throw that in there. But yeah, at some point, in a perfect world for the Jake Ellenbogen channel, I would love to see us. I'm so confused at what's happening right now. Fielder's interference. Yankees are down 7-4. They gave up 3 runs in the top of the 10th. Anyway, in a perfect world for this channel, people ask me, Jake, if Jake Ellenbogen, you could turn this channel into whatever you want. Like, it just, you wake up the next day and you have everything at your disposal. What would you want? And I'm like, obviously, I'd want 1 million, at least 1 million followers. But the milestone is 100K. You get that silver play button, but more importantly, you get that check mark. And I'm a strategist. Everything I do, there's a reason I do it. Yes, Matt Carpenter just hit a 2-run shot. They're down 1 in the bottom of the 10th. Go Yankees. Anyway, no outs also. Anything I do, okay, I'm trying to be strategic in my approach. And so my thought process is if I get the 100K subscribers for this channel, I'd have the check mark next to my name. As you know, I have the check mark next to my name on Twitter, if you follow me. That does generate attention. There's some credibility there. And so if you have the check mark next to your name on YouTube, you could comment on any video. And people are going to see that check mark. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this person's verified? That means they have 100,000 subscribers. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to check your stuff out. Right now, if I comment on other videos, people may check out my account. People may check out the fact because I have the JE logo. I look somewhat official. But they don't know. They don't know. But once I get that check mark, it comes with me no matter where I comment. No matter how big. And that's actually, believe it or not, a huge secret to growing exponentially. Because think about this. You may not realize it, and this is where the strategist in me takes over. You get the check mark on YouTube. That everyone knows the check mark means 100,000 subscribers. And you're verified. So when you say I go to the official Rams Twitter, or the official Rams YouTube, and all of a sudden now on the official Rams YouTube, I'm commenting. And I'm just saying, hey, what do you guys think about this and this happening, right? What do you got? What do you guys want Von Miller, whatever, right? Not Von Miller, but like, do you guys want like Montez Sweat? People start commenting. They see I'm verified. I'm commenting on a Rams page. Now all of a sudden I have new people coming over to the Rams spot. My page. Same thing with the Jets. If I start commenting on Jets stuff and I'm verified at 100,000 subscribers, now Jets fans are going to come over. If I'm commenting on MCU and they check out my channel and see, oh, okay, he talks about MCU. Boom, there you go. That's the goal. I don't need 1 million. I need 100,000 and I can get to 1 million. But when people ask me, though, what I want 100,000 subscribers and I want a forum. I know I said forum, but hear me out when I say this. I want a community forum area just like this where we're sitting here and I mean, the viewers would be great if they're like over 1,000 at once. That'd be nice, but it'd also be hectic and wouldn't be as like intimate as it is now. But just to be able to talk about whatever. Like, I want this show to be open-ended about whatever. We can talk about whatever. I want it to be open for people. This is a community. This is about the same as a forum. You want to ask a question about music? I'm going to try to answer it. That's what I want. And it's not just going to be JE Live. I want to be able to post Jet stuff. I want to be able to post Ram stuff. I want to be able to post MCU. The perfect world of this account, this page, is 100,000 verified, being able to comment and get people to come over here, doing the live streams nonstop, JE Live being entirely an open book Q&A type of show, and having maybe separate shows on the channel. And I feel like if that's what I was doing, then I've made it. Then I'd never have to work with anything again. I would just do YouTube. If I got to 100,000 subscribers, I'd just focus on YouTube. So that would be, in a perfect world, that's what I want. Man, it is so hot in here. I know I keep bringing that up, but my God. Whew. I'm going to die. I'm assuming because it's so hot in here, my water's probably hot by now. That's decent. Yeah, it's the way it is, you know. I think Kupp is better than Devontae. I do. And I think Devontae is the second best receiver in the league, but I think Kupp is better than Devontae. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. You know, it really, you can't have a private life in today's world, and everybody wants to promote everything. So, especially with NFTs. I could do a whole freaking show on the whole NFT influencer thing, but do I think some former athletes' careers would be different? I definitely think, like, yeah, some guys would be different. More open book, like charming personalities, you know, more in your face. Like Reggie Jackson with the New York Yankees, like I feel like he was like charged up and everything. I feel like he would have had like a nice social media presence. You know, Bo Jackson would have had a monstrous social media presence. Bo Jackson would have been like literally doing everything. So, yeah, I definitely think it would be different. And it might have changed their careers a little bit too. Yeah. Probably. Who knows? Yeah, I don't think it should be a debate coming off that season. If you want to say all time, Devontae Adams has been the better receiver than Cooper Kupp because he's played longer. He's done more. He has longevity. But Cooper Kupp last year, going into 2022, he is the best receiver. There's not an argument. I did not, but that sounds amazing. I would definitely be for that. There's a law that you can't be 34 and be president of the United States, but you can be 84. That really needs to change. The oldest NFL coach is 70. It's interesting, the whole president of the United States thing. Like, you have to be American born, all that. There's a lot of different things, but then other things you don't have to be American born. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, what if the best option for president of the United States didn't actually reside in the country? Like they reside in the country, he or she, but they were born from another country. Couldn't be president, didn't matter. God could come down from the heavens and tell you this is the savior of democracy. But you couldn't vote for them because they're not American born. Interesting. I'm not saying I hate that rule, but it's kind of interesting. One thing I've really liked is the evolution of racial diversity within the MCU. We are seeing characters we aren't used to, but Black Panther, Shang-Chi, and Miss Marvel have been top movies/shows. Oh, I agree. And I like the I actually, I know a lot of people who say like woke and like whatever. Here's the thing with Kamala Khan. That was her character. I understand when people have an issue when something is shoved in your face. Like they change a character to promote social commentary. But Kamala Khan is Pakistani in the comics. They didn't change that character. So like when I see ignorant people saying that, oh, well, whatever, they didn't change that character to benefit anything. That's the character. It was true to the comics. And I actually like Kamala Khan a lot. I think that's a great character. And I really like Iman Vellani. I thought she did an incredible job. I agree with you. Shang-Chi was awesome. Black Panther was awesome. I mean, there's a lot of diversity in the Marvel world, but, I don't know. People get upset about things like that, I guess. Oh, the Yankees are down to their final out. Boy. In steps Connor Falefa, who hasn't hit all today. Trevino just grounded into a fielder's choice. 2 outs. Runner on first. If Baker doesn't win the job, that's so annoying that he took Hecker's number to sit on the bench. That's one way to look at it. As far as currency goes, is Bryce Currency or our number 2? Interesting. I I think he's right now number 3, and I don't think he has played enough to be currency, if that makes sense. John Wolford, that's an intriguing one. Like, if Wolford got a chance to actually play, like really play, and you don't want him to, obviously, but if he got a chance to actually play and Stafford went down, and then Stafford came back, if Wolford played well enough, then yeah, I think he could be currency. But yeah, I think Cooper Kupp's better than Devontae Adams. Yeah, I feel like Esposito's been typecast as like the really cerebral villain, so it would feel really odd. Especially the stuff I saw him do in Breaking Bad. I have never watched it all the way through, but I came upstairs. I was just going to get like food or something, and I saw like my parents were watching Breaking Bad when like Esposito stabbed the guy or whatever. I was like, oh my god, it's brutal. Yeah, it's cool. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm more old school. I didn't think they should not have gotten rid of the Tower of Terror, in my opinion, but you know. Oh, nice. There's a single by Connor Falefa. Trevino to second. Runners on first and second. They're down to 1 out. LeMahieu was struck out twice with runners in scoring position. He struck out once with the bases loaded. So we'll see what he does here. 7-6 down. The Yankees here at home. I know not everyone here is a Yankees fan, but I'm very much invested into it. I just have the game cast right here. Early today, I posted it's Coop's selflessness. Oh boy. No! Damn it! They lost. Wow. Well, hats off to the Reds. It's the first time the Yankees have lost a series since May 21st. On that note, I'm going to drink water. Well, was that on 4th down? Because I don't think so. But if it was on 4th down, I don't remember if it was on 4th down or 3rd down. I think the Bengals would have gotten blown out if OBJ didn't get hurt and if they called back the clear, blatant face mask. What's up, GOAT? Could see that. Wouldn't be surprised. Ravens are not being talked about enough. I did. I don't know if I buy it. A lot of it sounded very fan fiction-y. To me, anyway. Well, I was going to do it. Did I do it last week? I don't remember. I typically try to do it on, like, weekends. So, like, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I'll do it again. Yeah, I'm a Rams fan, Miley, because I was born a Rams fan, basically. My dad grew up in Irvine, California. His next-door neighbor was Jim Youngblood, so he had a Rams interest there. And then he moved to New York with my grandpa, grandma, and my uncle and my 2 aunts. And, he kept liking the Rams. And so when I was born, he raised me to be a Rams fan. That was the history of it, essentially. I know a lot of people started liking the Rams because of the helmet. Can't blame them there. Yeah, it can. Absolutely. Very much so, Nolan. Yeah, it would be cool. We'll see. I don't know. If I have the money, I'll do it. That would be fun. That would definitely be fun. Fans of content creators shouldn't be mad when they expand their content to different categories or things, especially if they cover one team. It's hard to talk about the Rams 24/7. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's that way with anybody. Unless you're, if this was Rams Edge, if this was called a Rams channel and all of a sudden, I started turning it into a channel where we talk about eating clay, not, something like that, then yeah, I can understand why people would be upset. People are always going to be upset. The way I look at it is that the people that stuck by me when I decided that, like, I announced that I was going to start covering the Jets. Those are the real people that I want supporting me. Like, I'll get to 100K. Make no mistake about it. I'll get to 100K subscribers. It's not cockiness, it's confidence. I have a lot of confidence in myself. But what I will say is that I don't need people to support me that, I don't need people to watch this channel that don't support me. They can, I mean, cool, but like I don't need you if you're going to trash everything I do now because I cover the Jets too. I think I give plenty of screen time to the Rams. Probably don't cover the Jets enough, but And then the people that come in here, and it doesn't happen very often, but when they come in here and they bully that's the thing I find funny. You got the OG people in here all the time in every comment section, and then you get the new people in here that bully the OGs asking about MCU. Like, bro, this is open. Like, anybody can ask me about anything. There will be no Keemstar community-like nonsense going on in my channel. None. I've always had issues with being an antisocial person as well, but since finding yours and AK's channel, it's definitely helped me come out of my shell a bit more and has gotten me through funky times. Oh, well, that is awesome. I appreciate that, Alex. That's really cool because when I first started this channel, I was thinking more about me and less about the community. And I don't mean that in like a jerk way. But when I started doing my YouTube channel, it was about me building my brand. Expanding my brand, taking advantage of something. And as I continued to grow it, I started to develop these connections with you guys. You DM me, you tag me in tweets. I met some of you in person. I've hung out with some of you in person. You donate to my channel. You buy my merch. I mean, at that point, you're no longer, it's not just me trying to build my brand. It's me, I've developed connections with people. And it's fun. And so, that's the thing. Before you start a YouTube channel, you have to know what your goal is. And my goal was to, build my brand. But it's changed since. It's not that I don't want to just grow. I want to build a community. I want to build a YouTube legacy, if you will. And I want to be able to influence people like a true influencer, not sitting there like dancing and stuff and all that. Yeah, I'm sure some of you will you'll clip that. Go ahead. I don't care. But yeah, the whole Father Jake nonsense. But I'm just past that, man. I'm past the whole like the fake influencer thing. Like no. I've never wanted to do that anyway. But I really want to influence people. Okay, I took the leap. I decided to make this channel. You can do it too if you want to. And if you don't, then hopefully I'm entertaining enough for you where I'm seeing a lot actually. The analytics show it. There's a lot of TV viewers. Like I'm your new TV show. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I'm on your TV right now looking at you right in the eye. I see you. Yeah. Because it's gotten big. Because now with Roku and Fire and whatever else, you can now watch me on your TV. TV, if you didn't know, TV is starting to take over. Dear God. TV is starting to take over, folks. It really is. It's the streaming app, the YouTube streaming app, or using AirPlay, or however you use it. I could not believe the numbers that I saw. When I saw my analytics the other day, I was like, holy hell. When did this happen? When did this start? When did this become a thing? Overnight, apparently. Because, I don't know, some of you, most of you, were at one point watching it on mobile, and I think some of you still do. Some watching on the computer. But I am actually blown away by how many people watch on TV. Like, it's pretty crazy to me. And the YouTube Shorts, by the way, those are getting a lot of views. So, I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to keep mixing things up, We're going to have consistency on this channel where we pump out content at will, but we're also going to have mix where we pump out shorts and we pump out regular videos and we pump out live streams. There's no reason we can't do it all. If you're not doing it all, you're not trying, right? Think about it. Am I wrong? Hey, Jake, do you know how Rams training camp is? I'm going on the 10th, but I've never been. I actually have never been, sadly. The only training camp I've ever gone to was New York Giants, and it was at UAlbany. And I only went because Kurt Warner was the quarterback then. So I was a little kid. Like, very little. So I don't remember too much about it. Hot takes equals hot room. Yeah. My first time watching the Rams was when they were playing 49ers in 2012, the tie game. Alex Smith got hurt. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jolon Dunbar, who's, shameless flex here. He's friends with me on Facebook. I regret not going to ride the Tower of Terror. Oh, it was so good. And I'm a big fan of, horror and, the dark nature of Twilight Zone and, Black Mirror. And, it was a Twilight Zone-esque thing. Obviously, it was the Twilight Zone, but, yeah, I do. That's not a knock on Stafford. You're putting Lamar Jackson with the greatest crop of talent he's ever had. Yeah, I definitely think Lamar would win a Super Bowl. Nice. How many you predict? Still have not seen it all the way through, but I want to. I heard that. I definitely heard that. Oh, Lord. You describing clay or a beer? When's the next call-in show? I'm thinking tomorrow night. Reggie Jackson shopped my work, Price Club / Costco. I was a cart pusher and asked Reggie how he felt about 3 home runs in the World Series. He said, I felt like I was all smoked up. You do that stuff right. See, I want to talk to Reggie Jackson someday. He's my dad's all-time favorite player. I would love to surprise my dad and just show up on here with Reggie Jackson. He would just have he would be like, he would freeze. Actually, if anybody wants to help me out, somehow, if anybody can, get me Jim Youngblood's contact. If anyone knows how to contact Jim Youngblood, my dad would fall on the floor if I was just like, yeah, so I got this new video up. And he'd be like, oh, cool. What's it about? Be like, gotta check it out. And then all of a sudden I'm interviewing the reason I'm a Rams fan, essentially. Let's see. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, top tier. That's what I keep hearing, Nolan. I've never been to a Rams training camp. That's funny. Have you gave your review on Stranger Things yet, since you finally watched it all, and where you think it's headed toward? So Stranger Things, and I'm sorry, there's some spoilers here, I guess. Should I? I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, Stranger Things was dope. I don't know why I couldn't get into it initially, because, clearly the people that made Stranger Things love horror and appreciate horror, and I do too. Vecna is one of my favorite all-time baddies. All-time. Steve is the best character. I do not take no for an answer. Steve is the best character. Maya Hawke's character is very good. Robin, so can't hate on her. But Stranger Things was awesome. Stranger Things 4 was the best. 3 was it was funny. The lighting, especially, it was almost like too psychedelic. It was really bright, man. It was super bright. At least that's how it felt. Everything was so colorful. The 5th one is going to be interesting because I hear that's the last one. And they're not introducing any new characters. And, I don't know. People are like, oh, so-and-so is alive. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not trying to spoil it. I can't spoil it, but yeah. I'm excited for it. I will say that. I'm excited for it. It's going to be apparently 2024. I'm not excited for that, but a lot of stuff coming out next year. I'm not going to spoil Stranger Things 4. No, I'll but anyway, that's I loved Stranger Things. If you haven't watched it, just watch it. That's funny. Yeah, I gotta watch it eventually. I just finished Emily in Paris, so I've literally finished 30. Not finished. I've watched 30 TV shows this year. Last year I watched 26. If you want to stalk what I watch, go over to TV Time and look me up. J.K. Bogan. Yeah. Because I have my own account on TV Time because, of course, I want to use TV Time to organize all of the shows that I watch. Duh. Who wouldn't? So that's how I even know. But I've been keeping track and trying to get into, what is it? Peaky Blinders. Trying to get into House. I watched a couple episodes of House. I'm watching Schitt's Creek. So funny. So funny. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to get into that Chris Pratt show on Amazon. And I think I'll try to get into Jack Ryan on Amazon with Krasinski. What move is more underrated for the Rams? Signing A-Rob or trading for Troy Hill? It's weird. I'm going to say signing A-Rob because I still feel like people don't realize how good he could be. But Troy Hill was underrated. It is a vibe. Samara Weaving is joining Scream. I did not know that. Nah, you can spoil Stranger Things. Oh, it's been out for a while. I have not watched Banshee. Final questions before I head on out of here. I did not realize how late it is. Check my Twitter. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's see. Oh, my God. He did it. He did it. This guy did it. Alex did it, man. What does that look like? What is that? What does that look like? I feel like that looks like something, and I can't figure out what it is. Man, I do not know. I have not. I don't know what that is. We'll see. What's Banshee about? As an OG Rams fan that hates the Niners, I love that Tart play is the Bill Buckner play. It will kill them for a lifetime. Oh my God. That's funny. What's up, Joe? Yeah, it was great. Really intense. Yeah, you kind of always felt like the Yankees were gonna win, but the way they won was kind of funny. The pass ball and everything. Like, that was to see them win on a pass ball was something else, man. A wild pitch, whatever you want to call it. But tonight they came just a little bit shy. Luis Castillo might be a Yankee. Who knows? They might trade for him. I can't believe they finally lost the series. It's been since like May 21st, I believe, is the last time they lost the series. I'm honestly the same way. You know, I'm a big Yankees fan. I used to be a big MLB fan. I don't follow the league as much anymore. But you know, I'll say this: the Rams are like up here. Like the Yankees are probably like here, which is normal fandom. No, like this is like really good fandom, like diehard fandom. This is like above diehard fandom. That's my Rams love. Oh, well, shit. I love Anthony Starr. Yeah, I might check that out. I didn't, but it was probably on purpose because Altuve is annoying. I don't like Altuve at all. Dude's a cheater. The asterisks, man, I don't like him. I have not seen any of that. So they only lose series to teams that aren't good. Although the Orioles, to be fair, have won like 11 straight now. Did they win tonight too? No, I think they were off tonight. The Orioles have won 10 or 11 in a row. No one's talking about it, but the Orioles are all of a sudden over 500. Wait, what? That's fake. That's fake. That's fake. That's fake. That's fake. Do not give me a heart attack like that. The Bills did not sign OBJ. Guys, you gotta stop getting rickrolled by the internet. Bruh, gonna give me a heart attack over here. I'm like just feverishly going through Twitter. I wouldn't count out the Lakers this year. I'll just say that. It is fake news. It's entirely fake. The Bleacher Report that was doing it did not have a check mark. They had the Twitter logo. It's to cause a knee-jerk reaction. I heard NBC, Joe. Bullet Train, I'm there, man. I don't have to go to the theater though, right? Is that streaming? I only go to the theater for like big time movies. Although, man, I do love Brad Pitt. I'm not gonna lie. Brad Pitt is fun to watch. He's such a good actor. His stuff's interesting, man. He's just interesting. But on that note, I'm gonna be hopping off here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. As long as you're here. Put out some content. We'll have some fun. You know, the usual. Play a game. Let's do 1 second. No, I'm not going. 1 second. Let me do something real quick here. Real quick. We are going to do... Hold on a sec. All right. We're about to end this, but before we do, we are going to do a little thing called... Weddle. Nope, that's not it. It's the Weddle game. My God. All right. Let's do AJ Green. Let's wide receiver under 6'4", lower than 18 in the AFC. Wide receiver under 6'4", numbers lower than 18. Or let's do Elijah Moore. No. Yes. Elijah Moore. AFC East, wide receiver, above 5'10", in between 6'4". We got, okay, in between that. Let's see what we got. AFC East. Who's this one? Who is this? Not Corey Davis. Older than 22, younger than 33. It could be Tyreek Hill. Let's see here. Okay. So it's higher than that. Okay, so is it Waddle? No, it's not, because it's not Miami, and it's not the Jets, so it's got to be either the Bills. Okay. It's got to be the Bills or... No, it's not the Bills. It's the Patriots. Okay, so it's got to be what? Aguilar? No. No, what the hell is the Patriots receiver's name? Ugh. Myers? Yeah. Boom. There we go. Now we go to hard. And we're going to go here. We're going to go to Bobby Wagner because that's the first name that came to mind. Okay, he's a linebacker. He's in the NFC West. He's not in the Rams. He's above 6 feet. He's below 32 in age. And he has a number higher than 45. Okay. So we'll do Fred Warner. Fred Warner, 6'3". He's 25. Number higher than 54, and it's going to be either the Cardinals or the Seahawks. So, let's do this. Zaven Collins. Okay, 6'4", linebacker on Seattle. Oh, is he the safety? Is it the safety that I'm thinking of? It's gotta, yeah, it's gotta be the safety, right? Because I think he's what the hell is his name? Ryan something? Ryan what the hell is his name? I cannot remember his name. He was in our preview. I cannot remember his name to save my life, though. Ryan Neal, I think, is it, right? Ryan Neal? Okay, he's listed as a safety. Linebacker that's 6'4" on Seattle? Brooks isn't that tall. Man. Oh, wait, it's not the NFC West. It's the NFC. I'm an idiot. I see it. I just realized that. Let's try Roquan Smith. Okay, it's in the NFC North. 6'4", linebacker. Oh, is it Gary? No. Preston Smith, maybe? Got the age, 29. Oh, I'm an idiot. They're both from... I'm doing terrible right now. This is bad. Okay. I didn't know he was number 91. Yeah, we're doing bad right now. Okay, so it's not Green Bay, it's not Chicago, so it's either Minnesota or it's the Lions. I mean, I guess Eric Kendricks. It's in Minnesota. Above number 54. Below 30 years old. And obviously Kendricks isn't that tall. I didn't think he was that tall. It's not Roquan. Oh, it's, oh, man. Dude, I think I know who it is. I thought he was on Arizona, but I just realized. I think it's, oh. Is it? Yes, Zadarius Smith. We got it. So we're 100 for 100. 100%. There we go. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Appreciate you for tuning in, as always. I'll be back tomorrow. And, yeah. That's going to do it. So I'll see you guys soon. Later.